In Salem, truth is never simple. Lies have layers, secrets have shadows, and sometimes, the most dangerous truth is the one you're desperate to forget. This week on Days of Our Lives, a shocking confession is about to send shockwaves through the DiMera family. But is it a confession, or a carefully crafted lie? The shooter mystery is heating up, and the line between guilt and sacrifice is about to blur in ways no one saw coming. The dim light of Marlena Evans' office glints off the polished brass clock on her desk, its ticking the only sound as E.J. DiMera lies back in the reclined chair. His breathing is shallow at first, uneven, the body's natural resistance to returning to a place it has tried so hard to forget. Marlena's voice is slow, deliberate, each word an anchor pulling him deeper into the shadowed corridors of his subconscious. Her tone carries both authority and care, coaxing the truth to the surface without forcing it to fight its way through. The goal is clear: to pierce the veil around the night he was shot. To drag what's been hiding in darkness into the light. At first, EJ's mind offers fragments. A flash of movement. The acrid, choking smell of gunpowder burning in the air. The heavy, suffocating stillness that follows a gunshot, when time seems to stop but your heart won't stop pounding. Then, something shifts. The haze thins. A new memory emerges, sharp enough to make him catch his breath. He's in the grand living room of the DiMera mansion. The firelight flickers against the walls, casting long, jagged shadows. In front of him, her. A woman. The barrel of a gun clutched tightly in her trembling hands. Not a stranger. Not an enemy. Her presence is familiar, intimate. He steps closer, his voice calm, almost gentle. No threats. No raised voice. Just a soft plea, like a man trying to stop someone he cares for from making a terrible mistake. But the image wavers, her face blurs, refusing to come into focus. It's as though his mind is shielding him from the truth, or perhaps protecting her. Still, one fact locks into place: the shooter was a woman. His logical mind goes to work. Kristen, Gabby, Chanel, Ava, they were all there that night. All capable of holding a gun. All with their own motives. And yet, the pieces don't fit. The tenderness in his voice, the hesitation in his movements, it wouldn't match if the woman in front of him was a rival or a threat. The only explanation left is the most painful. EJ is holding back because the real shooter is someone he loves. Someone young. Someone who should never have been holding a weapon at all. The session ends, but the air in Marlena's office feels heavier than before. EJ sits up, rubbing his temples, clearly unsettled. Marlena's eyes follow him, her expression composed, but her mind is racing. Years of experience have taught her how to read between the lines, how to spot the truths people don't even know they're hiding. And in EJ's case, she's beginning to suspect the block in his memory isn't just psychological defense, it's deliberate. She's seen it before. Trauma buried so deep, the brain locks it away, sealing it behind a wall of emotional cement. But this is different. There's something protective in the way EJ's memory refuses to show the shooter's face. Her thoughts turn to the one name no one dares to say out loud. Rachel Black. The idea is chilling. A child caught in the middle of the DiMera family's endless games of power and revenge. A child who may have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, and acted in a moment of blind fear. The signs are subtle, but they're there. Rachel's defensive behavior whenever the shooting is mentioned. Her quick subject changes. The almost imperceptible shadow that crosses her face when EJ's injury is brought up. Marlena doesn't want to believe it, but the possibility can't be ignored. The real shooter might not have been a calculating adult with a plan, but a scared young girl who pulled the trigger without understanding the consequences. If her theory is correct, the truth could destroy multiple lives. And the next step will be even more dangerous: deciding who to tell. Belle Black may be the first to hear Marlena's suspicion, but once that seed is planted, the fallout could be unstoppable. This isn't just about solving a crime anymore, it's about deciding whether to protect a child's future or deliver the justice EJ deserves. If Marlena's suspicions ever find their way to Kristen DiMera, the reaction will be instantaneous, like striking a match in a room filled with gasoline fumes. Kristen's love for her daughter, Rachel, has never been the quiet, nurturing kind. It's fierce, almost feral, a love that has claws and teeth, ready to tear apart anyone who dares threaten her child. For Kristen, protecting Rachel is not just instinct, it's her reason for breathing. And if she even suspects that Rachel's freedom is in jeopardy, her path is already decided. Her weapon won't be a gun this time. It will be her words. A false confession, delivered with unshakable conviction. To the police, she'll paint the picture herself. She held the gun, she pulled the trigger, she intended to shoot EJ DiMera. To the press, she'll wear the role of the villain like a second skin, letting her own reputation burn to ash. And to anyone who questions her, she'll answer with a glare that dares them to doubt her. Kristen has played this game before. She's bent reality, rewritten events, and manipulated witnesses, all in the name of protecting the people she loves. But this time is different. This isn't about winning a feud or securing power. This is about saving her little girl from a lifetime of guilt and legal ruin. The clues were already there in her recent pub conversation with Rachel. Kristen swore to her daughter she wasn't the shooter, her tone calm, almost soothing, the kind of lie meant to quiet a restless mind. But for viewers, it felt like foreshadowing, the calm before the storm of her changed story. Picture it. Kristen, in a police interrogation room, sliding her hands into the steel cuffs without protest. Rachel, frozen in disbelief, unable to understand why her mother is now claiming guilt. And the real truth? Still trapped inside the frightened heart of a child, locked away where no one can reach it. If Kristen's false confession plays out the way it's being set up, it will only be the first domino to fall. Because memory has a way of clawing its way back to the surface. And when Rachel's carefully buried memories finally break through, the impact will be devastating. It won't come all at once. At first, it might be just a flicker, a sound, a smell, a flash of a moment she's tried to erase. The deafening crack of the gunshot. The sharp smell of gunpowder filling the air. The weight of the gun in her small, trembling hands. And then, EJ's face, not twisted in rage, but heavy with sorrow, a look that pierces deeper than anger ever could. When the full truth hits, it will feel like drowning. The horror of realizing she was the one who fired the shot will pull her under, leaving her gasping for air. And then comes the choice no child should ever face. Let her mother's sacrifice stand, condemning Kristen to years in prison, or come forward with the truth, risking her own freedom and the DiMera name. It's a moral tug of war, a battle between love and justice. And in a twist that only Salem could deliver, the roles may reverse entirely. The daughter trying to protect the mother willing to take the blame, each prepared to destroy themselves to save the other. If Rachel steps into the light and confesses, it will shatter the false reality Kristen has built. If she stays silent, it will haunt her forever. Either way, the storm is coming. And when it hits, no one in the DiMera family will escape untouched. This isn't just another whodunit for Salem's gossip mill. This is the kind of story that burns itself into the history of a family, the kind that changes how the DiMera name will be whispered in the years to come. At its core, this is about more than uncovering who pulled the trigger. It's about the moral line between protection and destruction, and how far the DiMeras will go when that line is blurred by blood ties. For EJ, survival has given him the luxury, and the burden, of knowing the truth might still come out. Yet every day that passes without clarity leaves another crack in his trust, another shadow over his relationships. If the truth is revealed, will it bring him peace, or only more betrayal? For Kristen, her reputation is already battered, the pages of her past littered with schemes and manipulations. A confession, even a false one, could be the final blow. Once Salem brands you as a shooter, even innocence can't scrape that label off. And deep down, Kristen knows that wearing that label could mean a permanent exile from any hope of redemption. And then there's Rachel, a child whose innocence, once shattered, can never be pieced back together. Even if she's shielded from legal consequences, the emotional cost could be devastating. The weight of such a secret, the knowledge of what really happened that night, could shape her entire life, her identity, and the choices she makes as an adult. From here on out, every step is a gamble with impossible stakes. One wrong move, one rash confession, one memory resurfacing at the wrong moment, and the truth could be buried forever beneath a polished lie designed to protect the Demera name. But here's the chilling question: at what cost will they keep that name untarnished? In Salem, secrets aren't lifeless. They breathe, they pulse, and with every beat, they grow heavier, until the weight becomes too much to hide. Kristen's shocking confession might send ripples through the town, but beneath those ripples, a much deadlier truth waits. It's the bullet still lodged deep in the heart of this family, the one that hasn't hit its mark yet, but will, the moment it's pulled into the light. And when it does, Salem will never be the same. Stay close, because this storm, it's only just begun.